After a public hearing earlier this week, the Fort Wayne City Council overwhelmingly supported a local ban for the controversial substance K2. The council voted 8-1 in support of the ban, with Councilwoman Karen Goldner as the only opposing vote. Karen joins us this morning now to talk a little bit about that decision. Good morning.
Good morning, Drew.
Can you talk about your thoughts surrounding K2 and why you decided to vote against a possible ban?
Well, the most important thing is that we need to be able to keep it away from our young people. And so, to me, what we need to do is think through what's the most effective way to do that. I look at a variety of different information, and one of the things that the police chief told us actually on Tuesday night was that he didn't have a test for the substance. And so, the way the ordinance is written is that it's for chemicals, it's a certain chemical compound, and if you can't test for that chemical compound, well, that won't be held up in court. So, that was obviously a concern of mine. When the police chief says it's going to be hard to enforce, then I don't know why you'd necessarily take action. Well, as it turns out, I find out later that there is a test, a field test that probably will work. So, I think that there's a lot of different things that we need to look at with this. I don't want to create a situation where there's more of a black market, where kids are more at risk because they're dealing with not only a dangerous substance, but also, basically dangerous people to get it. So there's a lot of different issues involved, and so I think that the most important thing is we need to find an effective way to keep it away from our kids. And it's kind of tempting to say, oh, well, let's just ban it, because that'll make it go away. Well, the fact is it doesn't necessarily make things go away. We talked a lot Tuesday night about the problems with methamphetamine. Well, guess what? That's illegal too. So I just want to make sure that we're taking the most appropriate action that'll be effective in protecting our kids.
Now, this 8-1 vote, it's important to point out this is nothing official yet.
It was the preliminary vote, and then we had the final vote on Tuesday. And frankly, I'm still doing a lot of research on this. This is an issue that's come up pretty quickly, a lot of sort of moving targets in terms of information, and we're all learning a lot. So it's kind of a work in progress.
Now, do you see this as a possibility? There has been talk of the state doing a statewide ban. How do you see that working out?
I think it's highly likely that the state's going to take action in the next legislative session, so sometime this winter and spring. And in fact, this ordinance sunsets or goes away next July. I mean, that's how it's drafted right now. And so, that's another kind of mitigating factor for me on this is that, okay, so it's not a particularly good ordinance necessarily. On the other hand, it's going to be relatively short term. So, because once the state takes action, then that would overstep anything that we would do at the local level. And that's going to be, I think, a better way to do it. You don't want a situation where somebody can drive 2 miles outside of town to another convenience store and get something. A state action is a lot more appropriate.
Okay, Karen, this is not a topic that's going away anytime soon, so
No.
I appreciate you continuing our conversation on it and joining us this morning.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much.